right, so let's just start, while I'm here, I'll start this thing. So now that we have our front all marked like that, pins, let me still pin so they move our balls. So what you're going to do then is you take this and you put your apex point in your center front. So the best place to do this is start this. And just anchor it at the neck.
Do the lines go straight, like across the middle of the seat?
This
quilty?
here. This line, no, I put this right on the edge of my thing, so this should sit right on the edge of it. Because if you put, that's what I was saying earlier, if I put this over the middle of my line, I don't know where my front is. I now know that my center front is right on the edge of that line. So I'm putting this piece of, this pencil line I put in, right at the edge of that twill tape. So that means that my drawn line is right in the center front of the garment. So I got my piece here, and the trick with draping is you don't force it, right? So what I'm doing is worked at a costume shop in New York many, many years ago, and there was a woman who was the head draper, and she worked magic with her fingers. And I said, how do you know what to do? And she said, the fabric tells you. So like if I go in here, you can see this is pulling a little bit, but if I just take my hand and do this, I don't have any pulls, right? Everything's hanging. Draping should just hang. It shouldn't be like pull. It should, like when I took this one, so let's borrow here. When you're done with a drape and you put it on the form, it should literally hang on the form. You maybe have to put 1 or 2 pins. Now you have pins underneath. But like if I put a pin back here, that line's hanging right on my center back with 1 pin on it. When I do the front, I put 1 pin and that is hanging, you know, it's on a different mannequin and there's pins underneath it. But when you're done, you shouldn't have to pin it to the form. It should literally lay on the form. So that's why we're not pulling it. If I took this and I pull it, you know, like that, the fabric, what she said about it tells you what it wants to do. That's what it's telling me. So I basically put a pin for the bust, 1 for the here, 1 for here, and 1 up there. So my next step then is I go 1 inch above the neckline and I clip over 2 inches like that, and then I take this away. What we're doing is we're sculpting. We're like a sculptor. We're taking away, right? So then I clip down, and then I take another pin, and you're not forcing it, you're just going to go over and you're following right on the neckline, and you cut to the pin. And don't be afraid to do a lot of pins around the neck, because you're taking a flat, straight line and making a curved line. So I'm just putting a couple of pins and I'm clipping right to them. And then do 1 more. Bring this down. Don't be afraid to clip your neckline, because if you don't clip a neckline, you can't get it really smooth. But see how smooth that is? So now I'll take 1 more pinch and 1 more pinch. And I'm putting that right at the shoulder. So that's my beginning drape, right? Very simple, very easy. So now it's a design time. Do I want an armhole dart? I have all this extra fabric hanging here. Do I want my dart into the armhole like that, so that it hangs flat like that? Or do I want to do what I did on this one, which is a French, sort of French dart? Or do I want a bust line dart? all these are options, or that's a design concept and a fit concept. So the main thing I'm trying to do is I want to have this line that we drew, the middle princess line, hang straight. So wherever I put my dart, let's do a armhole dart just for now. I want that to hang square like that. That's what those lines are for, is to guide you. So now say you want to make it really fitted, you would then start darting from this point. But in this case, we're not doing a fitted bodice, we're doing just an easy bodice. So I don't like that dart there, I want to do something else. So let's say it goes here. That stuff is smelly. We may be suing the school for polluting us, right? So, see how it's just taking shape? Like, so if we got rid of this dart, then that dart's not big enough, right? Because if I'm going to keep it square here, then this dart has to be bigger. The main goal is keeping this line and this line square. So the way to do that is figuring out where you want your dart. And you're not forcing it. You're just letting it sit there. And with a dart, you never go to the bust point. Have you seen women wearing dresses and there's like a little point there?
Mm-hmm.
It's because the dart is too far past the bust point. Stop anywhere from 1 inch to 3/4 from the bust point, so that it stops. I hate seeing the point, and it's like a lot of times their bust is wider than the dress is wide, and so you get this funny little point. So always stop your bust dart at about 3/4 to 1 inch away from the bust. Does that make sense? Any questions on any of that? So it's very, you're standing back, and always go back and look. Does it look like it's hanging straight? Does this look like it's pulling in there? No, it looks like pretty smooth, okay? So the next thing what we'll do is we'll get our muslin, you get your muslin to this stage, and then we start draping on our next class, okay? So